Hello, welcome to this demonstration on plotting piecewise functions using Excel 2013. The piecewise function shown here is the one that I'll be using for this demonstration. And the way that this works is that if I'm putting in a value that's less than 0, I multiply it by -1. If I'm putting in a value that's between 0 and 4, including 0 and 4, I output a value of 2. And if I'm putting in any value that's strictly greater than 4, I output the square of that value. Okay, so this is how the rule is set up for this example. So when I open up Excel, I have a listing of x coordinates here, and the x coordinates are chosen so that I have a good variety of values in each of these regions that are in the piecewise function. Okay, so I chose some values that were less than 0, some values that were between 0 and 4, including 0 and 4, and some values that were bigger than 4. Now you may be looking at these values and you may say, why is 0 in there twice? Why is 4 in there twice? Well, the margin over here, or column C, basically says why that's the case. When we approach from the left, we have to consider the values of like -0.1, -0.01. So I put 0 in to act as a stopping condition when I'm taking numbers less than 0. But then I put it back in again and give it the output of 2 to start up the next rule, the next regions rule. So we have a starting condition for the right and we have a stopping condition for the left when I reach that 0 point. The same thing occurs at 4. At 4, from the left, we're supposed to be taking on a value of 2. So this will capture values like 3.9, 3.99, 3.997, things like that. Where from the right, I will be capturing values that are bigger than 4. It's like 4.01, 4.001, 4.02735, stuff like that. So I want to capture both of those, so I got to take it all the way to where that rule changes, at the point where that rule changes. That's the boundary point. So this is how I set up the spreadsheet to get ready to plot this thing. So how do we do this? The first thing that we're going to do in order to plot this, after we get these points and these boundary values in there twice and everything, is I'm going to select the x and y numbers all the way up to the stopping condition for the left. I then go to Insert, I go to Charts, and you can do plot, with or without markers, it's up to you. And this gets my graph going. Okay, so this is just like graphing anything else in Excel. You highlight the points that you want to plot, and you choose your kind of plot, and you plot it. It's the next part that's a little bit different. So when I go over to the starting condition for the right, for the next set of points, I highlight all of that and I go down to the next stopping condition for the left. I'm going to do a Control-C, so I copy those numbers. I select the graph, and under the Home tab, I go to Paste and Paste Special. This brings up this window here. I want to add the cells as a new series. I'm going to leave it in columns because my data is put in columns for the Y values, and the X values are actually in the first column, so I want to make sure that box is checked. I then hit OK. And it gives me the second part of the graph. So the graph is the same type. It is possible to make these different, but that is just a matter of preference at this point. For the next part, again, I go to the starting condition for the right. I highlight the next block of data values. I do a Control-C for copy. I select the graph, and under the Home menu, I go to Paste, Paste Special, New Series, Columns, because my data is in columns, categories are in the first column, X values, so we're good there. I hit OK, and it gives me the third part of the graph. And this is how you can plot piecewise functions in Excel 2013.